Hi, good morning. This is today's live on Equa Television International, and we're happy that you're able to join us for the show today. Today is Monday, the first day of the working week. I hope you are already doing the needed at your workplace or wherever it is you are. My name is Jemima Emmanuel, and as you know, every Monday we talk about work. So today we are looking at what kind of disrespect. What kind of disrespect? That disrespect at the workplace. We are looking at what kind of disrespect. And I'm not doing this alone. I have with me on the set today engineer Tony J. Nakali. Good morning.
Happy to be here.
Same here. Joyce Jakada, good morning.
Good morning.
Solomon Sambo, good morning.
Good morning, Jerry.
How was your weekend?
We bless God.
Great.
God has been faithful.
Now, some far to the problem is certain people will not understand what I'm saying. So
I almost say Batangale at the church.
certain people will not understand what I'm saying. So I just have to ease up on.
It's
Okay.
important.
Okay. All right. So we're looking at what kind of disrespect.
Work
Yes.
kind.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
work has its own kind of disrespect.
The disrespect at the workplace.
When you start sleeping with your staff, they will disrespect you.
Mhm.
When you start doing things that you don't have to with your staff, they will disrespect you. When you over enter their comfort zone, they will disrespect you. When you don't set boundaries respectfully, I don't mean set boundaries like, look, I'm the boss and they must understand. You know, when you set that kind of boundaries, you'll be disrespected. But when you act your position by default, people will respect you. There are certain things you should not be caught in the web of doing with your boss. You know, certain things are for them and the people they are related to outside work to do. So when you, that is their boss or is their colleague, start doing or engaging yourself in such things, you'll be disgraced. You'll be disrespected in a very
It's
disgraceful
step
manner.
ahead
So-
of disrespect.
so is you know, is some people wonder why people don't respect them, but you don't wonder why you behave the way you do. You know, you wonder why you are disrespected, but you don't wonder why you behave the way you do. So it's the behavior that you put before people at work that determines whether you gain respect or lose respect before these people. Respect is not something you attract, it's something you earn. It's something you act right to receive naturally. You don't have to tell people. There are people that are born to disrespect naturally, no matter what you do for respect. They don't care about that. That is hardly even found in their own dictionaries. But if you live the right way, I'm not even saying the godly way, I'm saying the right way. If you live the right way, if you put round stuff in round holes, they will fit in. If you put square stuff in squared holes, they fit in. But if you try to put squared stuff, things that are shaped squarely, in a round peg, it doesn't. It round hole, it will not fit in. So you have to look, even at work, what respect means to you is not what it means to Joyce. Except if there are policies that said, hey, this is how you have to look at this person, this is how you have to relate, this is how you have to engage this person, and this is how you have to respond. That apart, you see respect as kneeling down to greet someone. She doesn't see respect that way. And the reason for the fact that you kneel down to greet someone does not mean you respect the person. It can be cultural. There are people in Nigeria like the Yorubas. Some of them go all the way down. Like the Fulanis, you know, they really squat to greet in-laws, elderly people, you know, and people that are older. But you see, that is culture. You see somebody disrespecting you, but when he sees somebody, he just kneels down to greet the person. It doesn't mean that person has respect by default or naturally. It's just cultural, and that is why they are doing it. So what respect means to you may not be the same thing as what Joy sees as respect. You know? So there are a lot of people who don't care. There are people who have gestures, like body language, that in itself is disrespectful.
Yes.
There are people who say things to you at work that are disrespectful, and they know. They just don't care that you are disrespected. And as a matter of fact, when you are disrespected, they are happy that they have achieved certain things that
Yes.
they have put before them to achieve. I wonder why disrespecting someone would be a goal.
True.
But for a lot of people, it is a goal.
Someone will tell you, is that Reina?
Tomorrow, when I come to work,
Disrespect you.
just wait and see what I'll do to Joyce tomorrow at work. I just pray that she crosses this path. You just see what I'll do to her.
It's an agenda.
It's an agenda that you are eagerly looking forward to achieve, to execute. So when you do that, who pays you? What next? That person might even get bumped up to a next position, and you are still there. As a matter of fact, there are people that are disrespectful. They don't care whether they are cleaners, whether you are high up there as DG or whatever. They don't care. Disrespect means disrespect to them, and some of them it's a way of life.
Well summarized. For some people, disrespect is just a way of life. But you see, when we limit it to the workplace, disrespect at work has to do with behaviors. It also entails actions as well that undermines, that devalue, or even maltreat or mistreat colleagues at work. And this act is not without detrimental. It's not without detriment, because it harms relationships. It leads to low productivity as well, and even high turnovers, because there are persons that left their workplace or they resigned because of the level of disrespect that is being perpetrated in that particular environment. So they felt like, than for me to just let go of my dignity, of my integrity, than for me to tolerate this, is just better I go. I mean, the essence of taking up a job is to protect my integrity. And then if I have to come and then put up with bad character without anything as punishment to people that it is their way of life, I rather just leave than for me to actually stay. So you see, disrespect at workplace takes various forms. It can be verbal, where people abuse, where people insult, where people belittle, where people say terrible things to their colleagues, where people even gossip about either their boss or their colleagues or even their subordinates. And it can also be non-verbal, where people use gestures, like you are in a meeting and somebody is trying to contribute and you ignore the person, or somebody is trying to make a point and then you devalue that person. It's also disrespectful. At workplace, when you also exclude persons, it's like Engineer Tony will always say, it's a team. And then you work as a team and you exclude certain persons. It is disrespect without any reason. Now, non-verbal communication can also take the form of not even responding to communication. There are people that might apply for certain things or request for certain things, or they will come to you and say, and then you don't respond to them. It can also be disrespectful. So even crossing boundaries, like Engineer Tony said earlier on, there are certain boundaries like privacy or personal privacy, should be respected even at workplace. You don't have any business talking about my family at work. That I work in this environment, it does not mean that all my family members are tied to this place. So it is important that
even my health status,
yes, or
even
health,
anything personal.
Very true. So you find disrespect taking that form, crossing personal boundaries, going into person's private life, and then bringing it at workplace is also one of the disrespect that people experience at work. I mean, you come to work and you're hearing your colleague telling the other person about how that your wife said this or your wife told you this, and because you stay in the same environment, you have the guts to bring your colleague's personal life to the work environment. I mean, that's disrespectful. So there are a lot of forms that disrespect at workplace take, but I like the fact that Engineer Tony highlighted a lot of factors that contribute to disrespect. It does not just happen like that. There are things that give way for disrespect to take place, even though, like he said, for some people it's just their way of life. They are disrespectful and they don't care. And that is why somebody will tell you, it is my life. You take me like this or you leave me.
And
that is how God
people that
created
are
me.
disrespectful, if you disrespect them, it is a major
Of
issue.
course, it's a big deal for them. It is.
For me, right? If you are disrespectful, I can cope with that. But if you don't know that is disrespect, it is the problem. That's where the problem is. You don't have hope in your disrespect journey. You don't have hope. Honestly,
of being rehabilitated.
Jemima, you are disrespectful and you don't know. It's worse than the disrespect.
Yeah.
Because we are not expecting any change any soon.
Mm.
Changing from what?
Exactly.
Like Joyce said
What you
earlier,
don't know.
this is how I am. This is, they don't like me, that place, that's their business. Wait, you don't care about what people feel towards your attitude. But you want people to treat you a certain type of way.
Yeah.
How selfish are people? When she was talking, I listened keenly. There are people that will say, Joyce came back it's disrespect. You are body shaming her.
Yeah.
Jemima, you have been adding weight to just go and do something now. Your husband will start looking away. It's disrespect. You are body shaming them. Hassan will be walking like this. You are talking about his bone structure. We are created differently, and the earlier we start respecting people based on how they are, I think it will be better. Because this issue of disrespect, there are people who go home and they don't sleep,
Yeah.
remembering what they were told, remembering things were done to them, remembering how they were treated, remembering how you even asked them, move your chair to that place. What is wrong in asking somebody to move his chair? There's nothing, but there is everything wrong the way you say it.
I know in most cases, people that disrespect always want to be respected.
Yes.
I remember a colleague one time would always talk about how that everybody's judging me, everybody's judging me. Like I keep hearing like how that this person reiterates the fact that people just judge me, like this is not who I am, people are judging.
Say it
But-
now. It was Linda that said it.
Well, I was thinking to myself, and I was like, but you're not the only person working in this particular organization.
You said
How
it,
come?
or you were thinking.
No, I was thinking about it.
So
like,
Linda didn't hear that you thought that way.
so isn't it?
Is she at work today? You know, she only
I'm not
comes to
talking
work
about
when she
Linda.
wants.
I'm not talking about Linda. So, like, I was just thinking to myself that
Me, I'm talking about her. If you're afraid of
okay,
her,
I'm
me,
not afraid of her. I'm not talking about
her.
her.
You're not afraid of her.
I'm
So
not
that means
afraid.
she's the one you are talking about.
You're not afraid of her.
And I'll pass her out before I get. I'm not afraid of her.
You that used to zag her anytime you find.
So you want to be respected, yet you cannot respect persons, other people. I hear how I mean this person will talk rudely to other people, but if you attempt it to her, like
Not even to them,
Is
to the
a
people that
problem.
are close to them.
yes,
They bite
it's
the
a
fight.
problem. Yeah, it's actually a problem. So, but then if we look at the factors that leads to this disrespect at workplace, I think it would help a lot. Like I said, you thinking about how that you are always judged. Why not think about what do I do that makes people like judge me? I mean, when you think about that, it will help you address the reason for the disrespect. Some disrespect, like it can come from the person's people, like is their lifestyle, but others are self-inflicted. You do things that make people disrespect you. How come you're not the only one working in that place, but you're just the person that is being disrespected? That means there's something I'm doing that I'm not supposed to do. That's like making way for the disrespect to take place. So, but then it's really important that we consider some of these factors that lead to disrespect at workplace. Like Engineer Tony says, some people go home, they can't sleep because they are thinking of what happened in the office and they have to show up the next day because somebody disrespected them. You engage in a relationship with somebody that ordinarily it should end in greeting. Good morning, how are you? And it should stop there. But you went ahead to engage in an
To
unhealthy
even know
relationship.
the person's house.
Yes, and so the person later on comes to the office and like, is it not this one? Me that I know, I know how this person, what this person likes, is telling other colleagues now.
Anytime she's coming to our house, I even go to my neighbor's house.
Yeah,
So that I know.
and like imagine you being the superior, and then this person is your subordinate, and going to tell other people, his favorite food is this. This person does not like this kind of environment. How did you know? And then your colleagues start disrespecting the superior, and then you're wondering, I talk to these people, I give instructions, and they do not adhere. Like, what's happening?
Let me
I
tell you
think-
something that happened. Solo, before you make your point, I want to remember this. I was by my car park one time. Okay, by the car park one time. And a boss in his office was passing. You know, that place sometimes when you stand, people's attention do not normally go there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, excuse me, I was standing there, and he was passing, and a staff was passing too, like they were crossing paths like that. And then he spoke to her, and she did this to him. And then she passed. He turned and followed her. He tried to grab her, and she did this. A boss and his staff, yes, she did this. And then I was curious to know what would happen. They left my sight. Building was blocked. I wish I could use powers to shift the building to see the end of the stuff. But he came back, and then she came back like a minute or two after. And this was after closing. And then I said, whatever it is you want to do with your staff, spell the terms and conditions well. Spell it well. You can't be related to your husband, for instance, privately, and because privately he offended you, then you publicly respond publicly to that offense. And tomorrow it is expected that since you share something that is healthy, you go back to, after the sickness, you go back to that healthy status. And then you'll be left alone in the private. How do you think you'll be dealt with? And you see, even in relationships, that's how people lose it, even as couples. Different people. A man does not want his ego tempered with. Even if he's not egotistical by nature. He wouldn't want it tempered with. When you disrespect a man in public, like, wow. In most cases, he will not respond till he gets to a safer zone. Say, why did you do that for? What did you do that for? In public, and some men will even, they slap you, and they say, next time I will slap you. You understand? If you don't know what respect means, not generally, to me, you are dealing with me. You don't know what respect means to me. You are dealing with her, you don't know what respect means to her. You are dealing with him, you don't know what respect means to him. You'll be respecting vain air. Because there are people, there are certain things that I don't take to heart. I don't like you see me, you start falling down to greet me and all of that. I don't care about that. You know the reason? People don't mean that thing they do. They just do it so that you see them doing it. Even our leaders, when they are not there, people don't say the things they say to them in their presence. A governor of a state, for instance, he receives the most insult in the state. If you are number one in everything now. They will disrespect you in your absence. They will abuse you. But when you show up, people will even go down, talk to you, give you the respect, accord it to you, and then you'll be misled. That's why you'll be 6 years or 8 years in office and be wondering what is happening. You are knitting this place is tearing apart. You are knitting this place is tearing apart. And this respect thing, everybody must understand what it means universally, and then how to start deploying it to people. The best way they look at respect. There are people, if I go home, I don't even wait. I go to kitchen. I can look for my food wherever, except I'm not hungry. But some people will wait. Even when you bring it, they will say you didn't put it on the table. You didn't put it in a tray. So they'll be looking at it. You are not hungry. That's what respect means to them. Some people want, like their parents, they saw their parents eat, bring the food this way, keep it in a tray, do this, keep water here, put it here, tumble the plates, tumble the cups, do this one. If you don't serve them that way, they feel you have disrespected them. I know somebody that said, why would his wife go to bed before him? That if she should wait. So sometimes you'll be watching, he likes wrestling. So he'll be watching wrestling in the living room, the wife will be snoring on the chair because she knows if she goes in first, I said, sir, what is that? He said, that's how his father was. I said, no. How many generations? I said, no. You need to be civilized. You are an assistant director. You need to be civilized. Very soon you'll be a director. You just need to be civilized. You need to be civilized. So what respect means to people of old is not what it means now. Disrespect is not even when you say something. You can wear something very nasty and enter my office. You have disrespected the office.
Of course.
If we say you must cover hair, of course you people don't care about it. If we say you must cover hair, and I've talked about it, I've been talking about it too. If we say cover hair, our denomination, you say which denomination? It's disrespectful to this denomination. So you say you understand English. What did I just say? So you see, disrespect is not just when you talk. It can be in action. It can be in words. It can be in just walking. It can be just staring. There is a way you are talking to a staff. There is a way they start looking at you. Even though it doesn't bother me, I still give you the instruction anyway, and you must do it. And you must do it. So, like Joyce said, some people are naturally disrespectful. Naturally.
And like it has been stated earlier on, sometimes we are the ones that bring about disrespect on ourselves by the way we relate with our colleagues in the office. What would make you to just start talking from the time you enter into the office? I know of someone that will come into the office and will be like, you don't know what happened this weekend in my house. Nobody asked you. Nobody even knew. No one had an idea, but you were the one bringing. You dish out every single thing. Even
and
when
Prudence looks quiet too, so she talks like that.
No, I
is
said
the
I
same.
know of someone.
Okay,
I didn't
it's
say
one-
I know
the
of
other
someone
person is
on
one
my
more.
So the whole idea is know when to cut
You're
boundaries.
calling your colleagues on air. You go back to the same table.
I know a
Very
lot of
close
people in
neighbor.
different places. Yeah, so the whole idea is know when to. No, it's not Joyce.
Okay.
So the whole idea is know when to.
She's
put
on my list.
your-
She's not on yours.
know where to place the boundary when it comes to disrespect and respect.
Shouting,
And
see
just
finish,
like
see finish. But you are
you were the one
put
that
up your
brought
life.
see finish. And just like Joyce said earlier on, it can be in your speech, it can be in your attitude, it can be in your actions, it can be anywhere. And someone cannot just disrespect you with actions and then you decide to report the person elsewhere simply because. So you just have to really set the
I was in
boundary
a church
for
in Abuja,
yourself, so that
I
at
was-
the end of the day, nobody has to healthy
was-
boundaries, like
I
you
was
said.
in a church in Abuja, and then a lady said, "Kai, this pastor, that she respects the pastor very well. She respects him. That she's just praying that when he's ready to get married, he was single. When he's ready to get married, he should get a God-fearing woman like him and all that." And then one lady that was there said, "Be call me back." I'm telling you, say he doesn't know how to do anything. Just do you understand? You understand what I mean? We looked and we were like she didn't know when she said it. We said, "What did you say?" She said, "He doesn't know how to do anything. A pastor in church." So we now asked other people to leave. That's when it dawned on her that she just spoke out of wah, like Joyce would say, you open your mouth wah and spit fire. We started talking to her. So we called him. We said, this was what she said. They got married eventually to that lady. Yes, he married her. He knew a lot that,
He had to marry her.
he had to marry her. Yeah,
For
he had
his
to
own
marry her.
safety.
But so you see, that person had so much respect before his congregation. He was one of the associates, junior pastor. Very respectful guy and all of that. He came for service and he joined the church and then he was doing well and he became a pastor and So she said that. And when she said that, he forced people to start seeing him in a different light. So the day that they were getting married, they were like, people were like two of a kind, so you understand. There are things that are too much an information for you to pass across.
Exactly.
Like somebody just comes out to say, since I was born, I've had this medical condition. Why do you see me doing this all the time? Since I was born. What is the business
Exactly.
of that person? Tomorrow they will use it and insult you and you'll be angry. Why there are certain things like sometimes I don't come to work. Because I tell my staff, I'm a Christian, I can't fall sick. Do I? Yes, I do. But it doesn't stop me from confessing. Sometimes I'll just say, let me be at home and get treatment. When I come, people that are very close to me, that even if I don't tell, my wife can call and tell and all of that, or they can call her and find out. I have to just say it. But I can't come to the office and be saying, I was sick. See my hand? That's why I couldn't come. That's personal. Like, you don't say things to gain sympathy. You can gain it that moment. But the next moment, they will use it against you and it will be disrespectful to you.
True.
Well,
Please, your first comment on the show today.
yes,
Apart from
maybe
greeting.
first and last.
No, we still have enough time. Maybe we should just be breathing and be listening to you.
I'm looking at it this way. You know, sometimes it's just that we casualize everything, and we are not deliberate of why we are where we are. Why did I say that? You know, a workplace, why are you there? They have their set rules. Once you skip one, it's already a disrespect to the organization. So you start from there. And you have to understand that. Then you are not alone. You work with people. And it's not the organization that form the people, it's the people that form the organization. So automatically you skip anything in your terms of reference. Already you have disrespected everyone to start with. And you know, once you understand that, and then you're being deliberate about it, it prepares you to how you will deal with each and everyone in the organization. So that means by doing that, you will know how everyone behaves and what the organization is demanding from you. Because you mentioned something earlier about you doing what is right. Because if you do what is right in the organization, that means you are respecting everybody. If you do what is wrong, that means you are disrespecting everybody by default. By default. You understand? So I just feel if all of us will understand that, then it will help me to deal with Jemima as my colleague, to deal with Joyce as my colleague, knowing the fact that they are coming from different background. It's just the office that is joining us. And you see, I understand that some people don't know that, and that's why they talk to certain people. You talk to your colleague as if he's your boy. No. You don't have single right whatsoever. You don't. If anything happens in your organization, you can only act based on how the organization stipulates that this is how this should be dealt with. Because I may be your, by age, I may be senior, but by hierarchy, my senior is my junior. So simply because he acts other way, I can't feel because he's younger brother to me, or she's junior, you know, and she's not supposed to. Kaji Rainy. How? Rainy, resign. You are not supposed to be there. If you look at it that way, so it will tell you that the person don't even know the reason why he's there. You understand? And then if you look at it, now we are Christians. If we are to talk as Christians, how are you supposed to behave? You are Christian before you are anything, whether you are police, army, like you always say. You are Christian before any profession. So you are expected, your Christianity should rub where you are working.
A Christian cameraman.
Yeah. So
Go with your point.
Somebody is on his own, somebody is disrespecting somebody. When somebody is talking about disrespect live on air. Jesus.
I did not say anything, did I say? So
So we just have to.
Yeah, first of all, a Christian before you are a presenter.
Presenter.
I'm human also before being a presenter.
Okay.
So your humanity is above your Christianity.
No, what I'm trying to say is that even, most times we hide under religion and do a lot of terrible things. But if we understand that the concept of humanity, then we treat people well. There are people that, based on their religion, they only respect persons that share the same faith with them. They don't regard every other person.
That's why it's called religion.
Yeah. So,
But based on what you believe, is a belief is different from a religion.
true, I believe that. So I just feel that if we also have that mindset of humanity, that this person is human, we should, and is deserving of respect, then we will accord him regardless of
Because for me,
the
Joyce,
position that the person holds.
the person that believes does not have a doctrine that is tempered with. The person that is in religion has a doctrine that has been tempered with.
Yes.
So let's just leave it that.
Let's not go deep into
That's
that.
deep.
Let's not go into that.
It just does not speak well that you work in an environment and you keep devaluing people. And that's why I was talking about the humanity. Like, consider this person as human, just the way you are. And then if the way you're treating this person, you're going to be treated that way, how would you feel as well? And Sample Solomon mentioned a very vital aspect of which is the law, the policy standards at workplace. There's this talk about law and then punishment. Where there is no law, then of course you find out that
There's no sin.
there's no sin,
Where there's no sin, there's
no
no
punishment, and all of that. So, can we have standards? Can we also uphold standards? Without standards, like, abuse is inevitable. When you work in an environment where people can do whatever they want to do and get away with it, then of course, the environment turns out to become toxic. Because I know, and so what would he do? Like, you hear people say, I must block this person, I will beat this person up. Like, you talk about age and hierarchy. I remember I had an encounter with a colleague one time, and when I asked for a document, there was time specification, and then this person brought it a day after. And then when I responded to the letter, I copied the HR as well, and I said to the person, you're supposed to give this letter so, but you replied at so time. It is not disrespect to Joyce Jakarta, but to the office of that organization.
Did Linda correct it?
Why, Linda, you're in trouble. It's not Linda.
Something that happened in the office. You keep bringing Linda's.
So you can imagine
She
that.
has asked for forgiveness already. The organization has forgiven her.
So
Why are you digging Linda's past?
So when people can just do things and get away with it, there are people that work in an environment. What will they do? Even him, even her, even the boss is doing this, has done this. Me, I have details. People will tell you that we will take ourselves to anywhere. While you're thinking you occupy this position, I have persons up above you.
So there are people that have details about me.
So
And you have never shared
I don't
it.
understand why.
Meet me after the show.
No problem.
There are lots of things you must be detailed in your information.
So, but it's important that we also set boundaries for ourselves. That's why I said earlier on, in that same organization that you talk about or complain about disrespect, there are people that are not disrespected. Why? Because they set that boundary. You know what? You come to the office because you were employed to do certain tasks. So if you are committed to your tasks, there won't be any reason why somebody, like, there's no room for anybody to just disrespect you, even though we say for some people it's their way of life. But if you don't give them that means, there's no way. Like, I don't engage with you on any note apart from, let's say, work. So what space will you have to talk about my family or my personal life? Where did you get that information? What guts do you have to even talk about that? So we need to set boundary. Like, you don't have any business engaging in any unhealthy relationship with your subordinate. Why do that? And that's why you give room for all the disrespect. These people disrespect you without even thinking twice. They tell people information about you that you have no idea. That when you stand to talk to people, people are like, see this one.
Is it not this one?
Yes. Because so person that you engage in relationship with has already fed them with. People screen grab even your chat and share with staff that you work in the same place. And you stand to address people and they're like, So it is just important that we set that boundaries as individual as well. So beyond looking at the disrespectful persons, you too, what role can I play to avoid any form of disrespect? My personal life is my personal, none of your business. There are times that people, in a way to hear your own part or your story, they bring stories to you. Keep nodding your head. Keep nodding your head. That's if you don't have work to do. But if you have work to do, you're talking with me and I'm busy on my laptop, you have to go because you're not getting response. But by the time you come and I close the system and so what happened? Of course, tomorrow they will now be settling dispute and they say, even this person was there when that thing happened.
And you know, George, it's not only about personal life. You see, this issue of personal life, definitely in workplace, once there are people there, people relate. And it's just quite unfortunate that some people can cajole you to believe them by telling them certain things in confidence. But they turn out because
At that point, it's in confidence.
Yes.
Once you tell them.
Yeah,
You were manipulated.
The reason why I'm saying this, because some people come to you with a particular kind of relationship with the idea of how it will end. Believe me, once it's going the other way, anything that before they feel, yes, we share this, it becomes vulnerable in their hands. They don't care. They don't care. But there are people, because they are truthful about themselves, even when the relationship goes sour, sometimes you will hear the other person is the person saying the other thing, while the other person that still knows something but is still quiet. Yes. You ask why? It's because of who you are and what you believe. And you say if you are going to treat people based on that, you will even lose your sanity. And your sanity is very important. Because, like you always say, you always give this example that God is not going to judge you based on what other person did to you. But he's going to judge you based on your reaction. So knowing that, if you are a good person, continue to be a good person. Even if some people will drag you to the mud, be that good person. You are who you are. You are not them.
But sometimes it's good to address it too.
What I'm saying, yes, the boundary is good.
Public address system.
Yeah. It is good because
There are certain persons that their way of life, this disrespect that they keep on perpetrating or meting on people is because they are allowed. You work in an organization that is not owned by you, and then there are standards, there are laws, there are policies, and then you keep going against it. Like I don't understand.
You see,
so there are certain people that you have to address them. You can't be disrespectful to me and I'll allow you. For example, I don't give you reasons to disrespect me. I did not disrespect you. And then you keep on disrespecting me, maybe by telling lies or saying things that I did not say or I did not do. No, I need to confront you and address you so that it does not continue professionally. Because the workplace is not a place where you do Chinese or different kind of but you address it professionally. There are times that you call the person, sit the person down. Like, why are you saying this? Did you say it or not? You call the other person that brought the news to you as well. And then you put it to them, why did you say that? In most cases, you see them, I didn't know what came over me. Or no, it is you that said this and it led me to say. So there are times that it's detrimental to your reputation as well. Or imagine you being a married man that has a family and a girl going about saying, I slept with this man. Every day we hang out every evening with him. And that is not true. And this is the position that you are holding. And this is people see you, people respect you. Would you allow such person to keep on going from one person to the other saying these things about you? So sometimes you call the person professionally, sit them down and then talk to them about the things that they have been saying or the things that you had. So that will not be like, okay, it's their person. Because that's always, for some of them, it's because you leave them. That's why they continue like that. They feel, oh, I can act since I've had my way, so let me continue in that. So you have to address them. There are some organizations that even gossip. If you say anything about anybody, like you risk even your job.
Yes.
Because at what point did you get time to even sit down and discuss people? Because you're expected to work. So it is important that when you hear, like when you keep hearing things coming to you that this person, and you know you had nothing to do, call the person and address the person.
What if
Joyce,
the
I agree with
organization
you,
does not
but-
give room for all of this, like
It's not the
addressing
organization that
people
is
and
not addressing,
probably-
it's personally, it's
no,
you.
probably all they're after is just to make profit, to do well, and just keep progressing. And then all these other side talks and things that would diminish and
No,
discourage you
Jemima,
from bringing out
They
your
have
best.
to address
What-
it because it will affect that profit.
No,
that
there
they
that
are
was what I was
actually
going to say.
existing organizations that do not do that. You know, not all organizations are the same. In as much as there are those ones
as
that
a policy,
want
or they don't have time for that.
both. In as much as there are those that want the best, yes, they are out to make profit, but they are also after the well-being of their staff. There are also those ones that don't care
It
about
will
any
impact
other
on the
thing,
productivity.
any other thing that is out of their
Negative.
digits being constant and all of that. Any other thing,
But
they are not cut out for
I
it.
don't think you will have a healthy profitability
Yeah.
if that is allowed to, take the center stage. Because before then, you start having people throwing stuff at people, and these are the stuff that you use to make the profit. Yeah. Imagine that they carry camera and throw at me live on show, and then they throw one. Okay, the first person they will throw from that angle is here. Then I don't know where this one will go to, but certainly not here, because this one is my person. So this one will not. I don't know. It's this way, the middle one. So you imagine if you start using work tools as weapons, because it will get to that level, it will escalate to that level when you don't address this issue. Because these issues, they are demeaning to people's character, to people's personality. You just wake up and you hear that Joyce is busy saying that this is what she's been doing with Hassan. And Hassan is like, which Joyce? No, it's not possible. And then suddenly Solo tells Hassan, this thing Joyce is saying is true because she told me. Look at our chats. And then Hassan, he's a creator, And then Hassan starts reacting. And then because I'm German, I say that's their business. I'll close my door, let them do it. Maybe the next thing I'll just hear that the office car is on fire.
Exactly.
You understand? So there are
The
things
office
that
itself is
there
on
are
fire.
things I hear. I hear them. I'll be like, this one will die naturally, but this one it must be addressed. Call everybody. And you know me, I don't call two people to my office. No, I call everybody and we talk it where everybody is. And then even the people that did not participate, they share in the because you are supposed to be your brother's keeper. So where did you leave your brother to start doing something that is outside his terms of reference? You understand? So if we are all employed, we are in it to win it, or we are in it to lose it. So all of us must be partakers of it. It's just a policy that everybody is not happy with, but that's how it works, But I think it's wrong for anybody to say things are escalating and you are not. There was one time a sister was saying terrible things about me at work here. So we called her to my office and she said she was sorry that she just hated me. That's why she was saying that. Yes, with the management team, she said that she hated me. That's why she was saying that. Madam, you went to the extent of saying this. She said yes, that she just fabricated it with so person. These were people that they will be laughing. Once I come, they will frown. What did I do? I don't know. So when I sat with the management, because everybody was saying it's too loud. They have taken it here, they have taken it there, they have taken it here. So I called. I said, Tom, who is the presenter? Of course, we had a very godly presenter then, and she presented the issue. And then that person started, I think she was in tears, and she said that she just hated me. And that's why she said that. So you see, sometimes, like for me, it's not everything you respond to. It's not everything you respond to. If I'm doing something that is bad and I know I'm doing it and people are talking about it, I shouldn't respond because I'm doing it. If I'm not doing it, for me, I should not respond to because I'm not doing it. So what will I respond? If I'm not doing it, what will I say? That I'm not doing it. When as a matter of fact, I'm not doing it. So if I'm doing it, what will I say? That I'm doing it. When as a matter of fact, I'm doing it. Somebody found that and has told. You understand? So people are different. But if it's official, you treat it official, especially if the place has books that have spoken against such ills.
And
Then
when
you
I
use
said
the books
address
to
it, I don't mean that you go about fighting every day, because that's on its own is a distraction to even your work. So there are certain things that people will say. I've had a lot of things about me. I've had things that people will say, don't this day I was told to do this contrary to, so that you deal with me. Like I've had people say a lot of things, but I don't even, it's not everything you react to. Like I said, if it is detrimental to your reputation, your integrity, and even your work, so that you don't come and you sit down, instead of working you're in tears, instead of working you're distracted because of something you had. So those things can be addressed professionally, like the example I gave. Going around saying that I've slept with this, or this particular person has slept with everybody, these are things that you should address. But somebody saying Joyce is not even intelligent. Am I not intelligent? Is what you are saying about me like, oh, this person cannot dress?
In
or
the
this
first instance, what brought the issue of intelligence?
because people will say all manner of things about you, whether you like it or not. So it's not everything that you want to have time for. People will call you all manner of names. People will say, oh, you cannot do this. People will say it will have been this person. But you can't go about addressing all of this. Is a distraction on its own. If it is not a definition of who you are, they are not even the examiner. You shut your ears and still keep, like, you just keep going. Focus on the goal.
And in
then-
most cases, the people who say these things, they are your genius at work.
And there are some common things that we take them for granted. Like for instance, now I relate with Joyce very well, and then I will just walk to her table and just pick her pen. Like seriously, just pick her pen. Yes, she know that probably I need it, and she's there. I just pick it, and then she's talking and say, "Is it not pen? Just pen that I pick."
Or
Is
to
it
even
the-
sit on a chair
Yes.
when she's not there.
You understand? Or you sit on someone's table. Like these are things that people don't see it as anything. But it's not the person.
It's
It's
the
the
office.
portfolio attached to that seat. That's just it.
It's the EPML. That's
That's just it. So we
Oh,
got a
you
free
just got it.
advert.
You just
Got
got
the
it.
memo.
It's the office. So it's the office.
you know. So we just have to be deliberate about things like this, and then you have to respect your colleague, from the security person to the receptionist to the top, because you guys are all colleagues. When it comes to personal issues, find a way of addressing it. But if it's an official thing, nobody is your Charlie that you shout on, or simply because of there are ways on how to do things. So I feel if we are coming to work with that kind of mindset, it takes away 90%. The ones you will see around is just petty things that people can just wave and
Sambo
just leave.
Solomon, quickly, I think I need to say this. It's important that we are professional at work, because if you are in a work environment and you're not being professional, it's also disrespect to your organization. I mean, you are a staff in an organization, a certain place, like it's being placed like out of bound for non-staff, and you bring a friend and you walk in. Is you being disrespectful to the organization? When it is not break time, you stand out in cliques, in clusters, and you're gisting and you are shouting. It's being disrespectful to that organization. When you leave your own office or your own workplace, your table, you go to another person's office, you sit there and you're gisting, you're shouting when other people are trying to work, is also being disrespectful to not just the people but even the organization. You find that too a lot. People take organizational equipment, do personal stuff. People bring in people and not take them out, away from even the reception, to their offices, that to places in the office that you're not even expected to take visitors. It is you being disrespectful. And I always say this, I don't know if people think in this direction, but when you do that, you're also telling the person that you don't respect your workplace, and this person would not have regard in turn for where you actually work.
And another form of disrespect I see is you respect someone because he has the ability and capability to do things effortlessly. But the one that is struggling, you tend to disrespect that kind of person. But then we also need to have that notion that there's nobody that started work in an organization with full 100% knowledge. At one point or the other, we
People
learned on it. So that one that is just starting, give him that benefit of the doubt. Give him the time to also grow. That is if he is willing to grow. But even if he's not willing to grow, that is not an avenue for you to disrespect such a person. Allow people to grow in their own ways. Somebody he can reach 100% on the scale. I might be able to only attain 40%. It doesn't mean that I am lazy or I am bad or whatever it is. Let us respect people and then respecting their differences as well.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Engineer Tony Jonakale, thank you. Joyce Jakada, thank you. Solomon
You're
Sambo,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank
We
Thank
just
you, Jemima.
discussed. Thank you. We
With
just
your
discussed
Valentine,
today.
your Valentine shirt.
And Valentine's Day.
I don't understand.
We had this great discussion today on
You don't want us to talk about the shirt.
place.
It even has flower, pocket square.
Thank you so much for listening to us until we come your way tomorrow. Do have a great day. Bye.